by Progressive Insurance. Get a business insurance quote online in as little as 6 minutes. Visit progressivecommercial.com. Along Michelle Smallman, Evan Cohen, and a man who was asked out. He is showing up under protest today. One, Chris Canty, doesn't want to be a part of the show, has made it clear because Smalls and I would take bagels over
muffin.
Biscuits. CC wants out.
And we had some high praise for the English muffin as well.
That we did.
You did.
And everybody's commenting on it. You heard Stephen A. weighing in on it. You heard Joe Fortenbaugh weighing in on it. The trade demand from one Chris Canty yesterday. Good morning, everybody.
Well, it's a good morning, although I don't have what I want right now, which is to be joining another team because the team that I'm on currently has no respect for the biscuit in its place with the breakfast greats. So that's an issue, but we're going to show up. We're going to work through it because it makes it easier for the organization to facilitate a trade to my preferred destination if I show my value to everyone in the open market.
CC's a pro's pro. He's a professional. Even though he doesn't want to be here until he gets moved, he's going to show up and he's going to give it all. Give it his all.
Why are you defending him? He wants off of the show that we are hosting, the three of us together. There's no defense. We are doing it because this is a job that we have to do. We have to play with this individual, this former all-star who now wants out of this program.
I guess I'm a little numb on the inside because you had already requested to work with other people.
That is not what happened in any way, shape, or form.
So I think, CC, and you can back me up on this, after Friday's show, I already felt like things were going off the rails, so I've arrived at this point of acceptance.
Yeah, I'm a little bit because Evan Cohen has a list that is in his back pocket ready to replace us at a moment's notice, and so I feel like I'm disposable. I feel like I'm somebody that's replaceable, and I want to be wanted when it comes to doing this job every single day. We get up really early in the morning, and so I just want Evan Cohen to show some appreciation for his current teammates instead of having a list and ready to get rid of us at a moment's notice. It's Smalls, it's offensive, and then on top of that, we had the extra layer yesterday with the biscuits being relegated beneath the English muffin, beneath the bagel, and I just won't stand for that type of slander. And that is the hill I'm willing to die on. Those represent irreconcilable differences, and that's why I want to be traded.
Well, I do have a list. I'm going to break it out now.
Oh, gosh.
I know you do. We know you do.
And everybody can read it. Hopefully the camera can get this, of people that I would like to work with. Can you get this, Smalls?
Vontae Mack, no matter what.
Oh, my God.
Vontae Mack and I Friday here on Sports.
What is wrong with you, Evan Cohen?
You laughed.
We only have 4 hours, CC. We only have 4 hours.
All right. We got a lot to do. Let's start talking about people's tushes, okay? Let's get ourselves focused.
Finally.
Yeah. I mean, I know, Smalls, you've been asking for it. Let's focus on the tush today, ladies and gentlemen. That is actually true. That is not a bit. That is not a joke. That is one of the biggest stories right now in sports, as I love that it's determined the unidentified NFL team proposes to ban the tush push. It seems as if the team, per Diana Rossini of The Athletic, has been identified. So before we get into the debate as to whether it should be banned or not, and for those unfamiliar with the tush push, it's basically what the Eagles do on the quarterback sneak, where Jalen Hurts follows his offensive line and Saquon Barkley or anyone behind him pushes him into the end zone or for a first down. It's what the Buffalo Bills do in many ways with Josh Allen. The identified team reportedly would be Michelle Smallman's Green Bay Packers. So would you like to address the audience first on your Packers before we dive into whether or not this should be banned or not?
Yeah, I was a little bummed out when I saw it was my team that requested the ban for the Green Bay Packers or had the proposal. This is a little confusing and a bit frustrating for me as a Packers fan because you're admitting that you can't do this well and you can't stop this. And that's why you want to submit this proposal to ban this specific play. And I know I'm not out there on the field, so it's hard for me to really quantify how difficult it is to stop this or to enact this if you don't have the correct personnel. But I've always been under the assumption that if you don't like it, play better. If it's not against the rules, then you have to figure out a way to stop it. So to hear that it was the Packers, I was like, oh, really, guys? It's us? It's the Packers?
Well, there is obviously a lot of momentum to keep it. there's also some momentum to get rid of it. Ryan Clark, ESPN NFL analyst on NFL Live, had this to say about teams wanting, or maybe a team wanting, the tush push banned from the NFL.
How soft do you have to be? Oh, we can't stop it. Our D tackles aren't tough enough. Our linebackers get hurt. Shut the hell up and bow your neck. Somebody get physical and stop the play. If you don't have the personnel to do it, you actually don't do it. Trust me, right? Whatever team Matthew Stafford plays for next year is not implementing the tush push. Don't even trip. Don't even worry about it. Don't practice it. It's about understanding who you're playing, practicing, getting in the right gap. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs went into the AFC Championship with an actual plan for the quarterback sneak, with a plan to stop Josh Allen. Not only did they stop a 2-point conversion, but they also stopped the 4th down attempt, depending on where you thought the football was. And so to me, to go in there and be like, instead of actually coaching, let's run away from coaching and try to outlaw this play, is dumb and it's soft.
CC, as somebody who played defensive line in the NFL, should the tush push be banned?
Well, first of all, I think it's real rich for a defensive back to be calling defensive linemen that are responsible for stopping the tush push soft. If you never got your ass down there in the trenches to have to do it, then don't call a player soft. So there's that element to it. Next part, he cited the AFC Championship game with the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs about how the Chiefs stopped the tush push from the Bills a couple of times. The Bills also converted the tush push a couple of times too. As a matter of fact, the Bills and the Eagles combined for 163 total tush pushes in the 2024 season and converted at an 87% clip. So, yeah, there might be the one-off instance where the defense actually gets a stop, but more often than not, the offense is going to convert because they have an advantage. So there's that part of it. Thirdly, Smalls, you said that unless it's against the rules, then you got to be better at stopping it. Well, it is against the rules. The officials just don't call it. There's a rule in the NFL rulebook right now under player conduct, Rule 12, Article 4, which states interlocking interference and offensive players being prohibited from using their hands or arms to grab or encircle a teammate or to pull it. That's in the rule books. So there's that element to it. And if we're really going to take it next level and talk about competitive fairness, over a decade ago, the NFL decided that they weren't going to allow defensive linemen to be pushed from behind in an attempt to block field goals or point after attempts. The NFL, at that point in time, cited player health and safety as the reason. Now, I don't know what the injury studies showed around that particular play. I just know that the NFL cited health and safety as the reason why they wanted to see defensive linemen prohibited from being pushed into the field goal or point after attempt protections in attempt to block kicks. How is this not the same thing? It's the exact same thing. Now, we've talked about this for a while now, and my position was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was for offenses being allowed to do it, and if you didn't want to see it, then you got to stop them. The thing that changed my mind is what I saw in the NFC and the Commanders. We're in the third quarter.